Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning in to real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Make your coffee to perfection. Expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100, shipping is
Hey, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Ken and Ken in the Morning. It's Wednesday. It's hump day for those who are working. Ken is out today. Ken is out today getting some much-needed home repairs done. Man, he cannot win for losing with the house versus the tree. Then it's a flood. I'm like,
I think that tree was just the cause of what happened with this foundation. When you have an older house like that and it falls on it, it usually jars the foundation. Said it felt like a minor earthquake when it hit, so I'm pretty sure that had something to do with it.
yeah, I'm sure those old bones of that house were creaking a little bit. Man, so hopefully, hopefully he gets all that repaired. And I mean, he's already suffered enough. I mean, he lost basically his entire sportsman collection to it.
So all you sports collectors out there, especially you Packer fans, if you want to do something nice for Christmas, make sure you buy your favorite Packer podcaster, Ken Catalone, something and send it to him.
Yeah,
because he'll appreciate it.
And I think he lost what.
And I'm not even trying to be a jerk about it. I'm being real about
I mean, he lost, dude. I'd be mad. I mean, he lost a Rodgers jersey, a Favre jersey, and a bunch of other stuff, some helmets. I mean,
I know. I feel bad for him. I would hate, like, I'm in a basement because it's easier for me to do my studio down here away from everybody.
Yeah,
I would hate if even my little JB here got ruined.
I mean, every time we get a hurricane warning, man, it's like I worry about the artwork on the walls and the sportsmen because, like, most of your physical belongings are easy to replace, but like artwork, sportsmen, that stuff is next to impossible to replace.
And especially if you've acquired them through breaks like me, which basically is a raffle, you've got minimal invested and maximum ROI.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't replace my collection. No, I mean,
but I can't. That's my point.
yeah. So anyways, we got games coming up, boys. We got Wednesday, Thursday night football tomorrow. We got an NFC North primetime game on Monday. But tomorrow starts the fun. And this game is, a couple weeks ago, I think we might have looked at this game and gone, well, but not now. We got the 7-6 Rams going to San Francisco to play the 6-7 49ers.
And the 49ers, whose defense looks like it can stop somebody, and the Rams looks like, well, the dam broke. We saw what happened with the Bills. That dam broke. I don't care what anybody says. If you give up 42 points and you still win, your offense carried you.
But that's also Stafford doing Stafford things, right? I mean, Stafford is still, unlike Aaron Rodgers in New Jersey, right? Stafford's still doing his thing respectively
Stafford's
well.
not 40.
No, he's not. He's a few
Yeah,
years younger.
there's a big difference there. You got 7 years of age difference.
Is it 7? Yeah.
Yeah.
Stafford, man, still looking good. That's gonna be a good game. And the Rams are still kind of doing that. Like, we haven't peaked yet. We're teetering on peaking, right? And the Niners, though, look like they're starting to get to a place where they're starting to coalesce, and so both teams are starting to get it together as we get into what was this week 15, which is about the time you want to start to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you think the outcome of this game is? The line is -2.5 to the home team. Usually they get the 3, so that tells you Vegas. What do you think?
I think with the defense being mostly healthy for San Francisco will be the difference in this game. I don't care what the line is. I'm taking San Francisco. I just think that their defense at home with a rabid fan base that actually shows up will give the Rams fit.
What do you think, Rob? What do you think about this game?
I got the Rams. I think they're going to beat them.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with Rob on this one. I mean, it's a coin flip, right? With it being -2.5, it's basically a coin flip. -2.5 or -3 is Vegas kind of saying a coin flip. Wayne is taking. Okay, we haven't gotten to the Packers game yet. We'll get there, Wayne, towards the end. We saved NFC North games for last. Stafford just finds a way to win. Like, if it comes down to the quarterback, I'm taking Stafford over Purdy. And that's basically my reason, if nothing else, is I just like Stafford's ability to win a close game late over Purdy's ability to do that. It's gonna be a tight game. It's gonna be actually one of the better Thursday night. It should be. I'm not gonna say it's going to be, because if I say it's gonna be, you know what happens, right? It's gonna suck. Yeah. So it hopefully this should be one of the better Thursday night games we've had in a while. It should be fun to watch tonight. So we've got two of us taking the Rams, JB taking the Niners. Let us know in the comments whether you're on X, YouTube, or Facebook. Let us know. I know X commenting can be kind of hard. You just got to open it up into the view, and then you'll see a live feed where only your comments are live, but we see them here on the show. So, and
Right.
they'll be up on the screen.
And
So
we do respond to them when we see them. Trust me, guys. We may not always say them out loud, but we at least respond to your comment.
yeah, we try to get as many. And even John Dorn, who's Go Pack Go this morning, who says the Vikings will win the division, doing some.
I still think that's Bill.
But all right, the next game we got. See, this one shouldn't be interesting. Well, it should be, but for other reasons, right? The Bengals and the Titans. So the Cincinnati is going to Nashville. This game should be interesting because both these teams should be competing for a division. I think that's what a lot of us thought coming into the season. But yet here we are. The Bungles are living up to that name, being 5-8, and the Titans it's Will Levis. I don't know what else to say. Will Levis is probably not the answer for them.
People are trying to blame the coach, but you know what? They sucked even more with Mason Rudolph in there, because his one game versus Detroit was abysmal. So, and Tennessee hasn't won at home.
No.
So
That's not true. They won one game at home. They beat the Bears at home. Wasn't the Bears?
You beat the Bears. No, you
No,
beat the Titans.
the Titans, right? The Titans beat the. Was that a home game for us?
That was a home game for you.
That was a home game for us. I was thinking of the Colts. Yeah, my bad.
Yep. The Colts beat you guys in week 2. Week 1 was the Titans at your house, and you beat them. They have not won a game at home in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to go against Burrow in this game. I'm going to take the Bengals. I mean,
That's basically where I was going with it. The Bengals have the better record. They have the better team, despite having the worst defense.
what do you think? What do you got, Rob?
I got the Bengals.
That's
mean-
a clean sweep.
I mean, but the Bengals, though, they are such a weird question mark, because even offensively they've had some issues of not being able to get it right. I mean, this is a team that should be better. There are a couple teams like this that should be better than their record, and the Bengals are one of them. the Titans had a great defense to start the year, and they just wore that defense down.
Oh, you
That
forgot to
defense,
put the link in the chat. I'll
that
get it
defense.
for you.
All right, thanks. That defense just has gotten worn down. Next game we got. This one actually could be interesting. Records doesn't say. Hey, good morning, Dwayne. Phil, brown bags of what? Um, uh, this one, by record, doesn't sound like it's an interesting game, but the way that the Browns have been playing, it could be. You got the Kansas City Chiefs going to the Cleveland Browns, so 12-1 against 3-10. The line is the Chiefs. Chiefs -4. I mean, look, everyone's gonna say the Chiefs should win this game, right? They should. Uh, but the Browns have been playing some surprising ball here and there. So it's like, which Browns team is showing up?
The last couple weeks, the Browns have been playing better defensively, but can't get it going offensively. At first, when Deshaun Watson went out, Jameis Winston looked like the truth, and all of a sudden now he's throwing pick sixes out like Halloween candy. So I'm going to say the Chiefs win on a last-second field goal by 2 again.
Good morning, Cam. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning,
I
Brent.
literally said it last week, and it literally happened because the best call of the week was Mike Tirico when it happened. He goes, the doink for the division.
Right? A doink for the division. I mean, that's the thing with KC. Like, you said win by a field goal. I can totally see that happening too. Because offensively, KC hasn't been that good. It's their defense has been really good. Rob, good morning, Rob. We would kind of figure that. So that's an interesting game. What do you got in that game, Browns KC there, Rob?
I'm taking the Chiefs.
All right. Good to go. Next game, another interesting one. Talk about two teams that have been up and down all year. One team both started off kind of on fire, and then cooled off, and then kind of went different ways. The Commanders are 8-5. They go to NOLA, where the Saints are 5-8. Did Carr actually break his hand? Was that
Yes, he
verified?
did.
Right?
He broke his throwing hand, a non-throwing hand. Excuse me. So they're leaving him as questionable, but it's leaning more tight because they don't want him to end up needing surgery.
And that game, without Carr, that game's not as interesting.
Rob, I hope Browns, but we all know better, unfortunately. Amen.
Yeah. I mean, Rob, going back to that Cleveland game, look, unless like they get some defensive scores, which could happen with their defense. I mean, yeah. But yeah, this Commanders game is, interesting. I mean,
look at the players around him, and I have a question for you. There's a hypothetical here. You got
Okay.
TJ Watt, who has great players around him on a good defense, and you have Myles Garrett solo, drafted at the same time, played 4 less games, and is only 9.5 sacks behind TJ Watt. So if you were one of those teams that had to make a trade for that one player, are you choosing Garrett or are you choosing TJ Watt? That's a good question, right?
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, we see it all the time, right? Like look at the Bears defense last year when they brought in Montez Sweat. All of a sudden, other guys started playing much better, and it happens. We've seen it. Look, a running back who comes from a team with a good O line signs a big contract to a team with no O line, and they say, "Why don't you get 8 yards a carry like you used to?" Because the O line sucks.
Good morning, Isaac.
Hey, good morning, Isaac. So Isaac's saying Carr should play, right? Rodgers and Favre broke throwing hand thumbs that they played through. And look, I don't think Carr would quote unquote wimp out. I think if he had his choice, he'd play. This is gonna be an interesting game. It's in the Dome, which is a fun place to go see a game. Commanders, they're another strange team too because they're a patchwork team, right? They signed a lot of guys on 1-year contracts, a lot of veteran guys who have really played really well for them. But they've had their moments where they show why they were, 1-year free agent signings. Yeah, go ahead.
Their biggest holes are in the secondary.
Yeah.
But at that point, this is the first week where Marshawn Lattimore could play, and that will help their defense tremendously because it's been their secondary that's been the worst. They've been decent stopping the run. They can't stop a passing game to save their life.
Yeah. And then the Saints defense has actually not been bad.
Right. The defense has been good. The offense has been more wishy-washy than a guy who has IBS that just went to Taco Bell.
Now the line is -7.5 to the away team. So Vegas is leaning heavily on Washington.
I would definitely take the points, but I think Washington can get the upset.
You're going to take the Commanders in the game?
Yeah.
All right. Rob, who are you taking?
Taking the Commanders.
Yeah, as much as I like the Saints to pull it out, and I like Carr, and I think if Carr plays, it shows just how gutsy he is, and anytime I play with a broken hand, throwing a hand or not, it's still. I like to see one, but the Commanders should win this. They should win this game. I'll put it that way. I'll take.
Right.
All right, this one got more interesting over the last couple weeks. America's team, or so they purport to be, the 5-8 Dallas Cowboys, go on the road to Carolina and play the 3-10 Panthers,
who actually looked good in their last 2 losses too.
Yes, they look very good.
Let's not sugarcoat it. They've looked pretty much amazing, and Bryce Young is out playing C.J. Stroud the rest of the season since he came back from his little stint that we all said he might come back from. So I'm going to take Carolina in the upset. I just think that they've been playing better defense than what Dallas has been playing. They've been playing better offense against really good teams with really good defenses. You're talking about Philly and the Chiefs. They took them teams to the brink. Both of them were 1-score losses. I think this is the get-right game, and Dallas gets smacked.
What do you think, Rob?
It's in Dallas?
No, it's in Carolina.
Carolina.
Oh. Well, Dallas has a shot, actually, if it's in the...
Yeah, I know. They only win a lot on the road. Ken, you're back!
It's the fixed drain guy.
All right.
Oh, all right. It was a drain problem?
Yeah, the footer drain at the very end of it, when we had the other trees cut down, they had drove their truck with the boom lift over it, crushed the freaking pipe about 3 foot up from where it comes out. Soon as they cut that part off, you wouldn't believe the monsoon of water that came rushing out.
I know all
Wait,
about it.
and let me get this straight. It was the repair from the fallen tree in your house that caused this. So that company should be on the hook to replace some of those items you lost in the basement.
Oh, we're getting a hold of them.
You have insurance too, right?
Oh, insurance denied it.
Yeah, with the sportsmen too, you got it. Like I doubt, like a lot of people don't.
Insurance denied everything straight across the board, because apparently here in New York, for you to get the water damage protection, you have to get a specific policy just for that, and not a one of them brought that up when we were getting the policy.
Yeah, of course they did.
His shoulder must have used it to plug the hole.
Well, and with the sportsmen kind of like if you have art on the wall, you have to itemize those things with, and then you have to get them appraised through the insurance company. And most people, to be honest, don't.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, okay, you had an Aaron Rodgers jersey signed, big deal. Unless we did our thing to it, yeah. So hopefully, well, I know you've got photographic evidence of that stuff. So hopefully you get that stuff. At least get the money back. Maybe try to replace some of them.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the Cowboys Panthers game right now. Is where we're at.
Oh, I'm gonna say it's gonna be the Panthers.
I said the same thing.
What do you think, Rob?
I'm taking the Panthers.
Yeah, they've played too well the past few weeks, and the Cowboys just keep having more and more terrible news. There's no way in hell I could pick them.
Yeah, that was horrible last night that it broke that DeMarvion Overshown, their best linebacker since LVE retired, not named Micah Parsons, tore every ligament in his right knee. ACL, PCL, and MCL. So he's out for He's out for about a year because you see, it was over a year for Chubb to come back.
A-Dub says he likes how Bryce Young has improved, but he's not trusting the Panthers' defense against the Cowboys. So, A-Dub, are you taking the Cowgirls? Okay. Good morning, Joe. We're talking Cowboys at the Panthers. The line is Panthers minus 2.5 at home. Who do you got in this one?
I mean, you got the Super Bowl and then you got the Toilet Bowl. I don't know.
There's a couple toilet bowl games, but
Yeah. I mean, the Raiders-Jags is going to be a Toilet Bowl game as well. But, man, I don't know. You got to go with the Cowboys, right? I mean, just – but –
Okay, that's it. Go Pack, go. Those are fighting words. Let's go.
I'm gonna go.
I thought you weren't going to be on the show today, Ken.
I wasn't gonna be, but everything's already fixed now. The footer drain was crushed about 3 foot from where it comes out. They cut that part of it off, and it's flowing like a monsoon right now.
There you go.
I'm happier than a pig in shit right now.
I'm going to go with the Panthers on this one. I agree with JB, man. They are playing a ton better. You know, I've seen Adam Thielen's name come up more in the last 2 weeks than I had the whole rest of the season. Like, they are making plays offensively. That defense they spent that money on is finally starting to make the plays they need to make. They did take Philly and KC both to the wire, and they were able to score on KC and Philly defenses, which are both really, really good. Good morning, Eric. It's 10:21. That's 21 diamonds. Elevated, please, sir. Help him keep Eric's health intact. An old tradition brought back. So I've got Carolina in this one. The next one, maybe not a toilet bowl. Maybe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. If it's the one I think you're going to say, yeah.
No, it's one of those perplexing games, right? Two teams that we thought would be at the top of the divisions. They're really both not, but could be a great game, could be a bad game. It's the Dolphins at the Texans.
Oh, Dolphins are fighting for a playoff spot. Houston basically has the division on lock. They can coast because they have enough wins that the other teams have to try to get there. So I'm going to say Houston wins at home. I hope they make it an open-air game and it's 40 degrees and Tua fails again.
Yeah, the line on the game is basically the hometown 3. So,
Right.
I mean,
It's a pick 'em. I'm just going to say Houston because you would think with getting a couple of their O linemen back from injury that O line will play better now.
what do you think, Joe?
And they're playing for seeding. You know, like
Right.
now it's like we're trying to get up there and get a home game or more than one home game. So I'm going to go Texans.
Yeah, Eric, we're doing picks. Dwayne is taking the Texans. Rob, who are you taking?
I'm going to take the Texans.
Ken, how about you?
I'm going with Chad Pennington 2.0 and the Dolphins. Come on, tell me he does not remind you of Chad Pennington. Super amazingly accurate, but not too many attributes past that.
I was going to say he reminds me of a smarter Keebler elf.
Eric is taking the Panthers and he's taking the Texans. You know, the Dolphins are one of those teams that's like they're one of those teams like when Tua's on, man, they are on. They can be electric. We saw what they are without Tua. Like that team is 100% driven by him. You know, but the Texans, man, they've been showing they can't win. You know, look, if it's a close game after one,
It's over
Right?
after the first half. Yeah, they've been falling on their face unless they have a good lead.
yeah, I mean, hold on, A-Dub, I'll get to your comment in a minute. That's what I'm saying. If it's a close game, I think the Dolphins can keep it. If the Dolphins can keep it close, I'll take the Dolphins. I mean, we can call that an upset. I don't know. It's a pick'em game, but I'll take the Dolphins on this one. A-Dub says, I thought Ken would pick the Cowboys to win since the Bears still own a pick from the Panthers. That could be better. Yeah, I'm not even considering that in picking the game, man. I mean, from that standpoint, yes, I'd want the Cowboys to win, A-Dub. You're 100%. I mean, the problem is I don't think the Cowboys can win that game right now. As
Yeah.
much as I would want them to, I don't think they can. And Carolina has been playing really, really good ball. Good morning, Fred.
Actually, you know what? I'd like to change my pick. I think I want to roll with the Panthers too.
Okay. What's up, Fred? Eric saying the Dolphins are playing better though, and they are. And like I said, I think I'm confident with the. I mean, I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I'm not even gonna quantify it. I'll take it because Texans, man, in the second half, they're like the Bears in the first half. They can't
FTP Fred, look at him come in. What's up, loser?
At least you've come to terms with it, Ken. That hey, the Bears just suck in the first half.
They up the first 3 games with Brown as the OC. They were better in the first half, actually, a little bit, but second half they were great, right? And the Niners game, they were just terrible all around. But I mean, it's just like some teams, like the Bears all season though, have been a slow starting team, whereas last year they were a fast starting team that fell apart. Because they'd always score in the first drive and then they'd fall to shit. The Texans though, man, they look at the Detroit game. I mean, it was a 16-point game at the half, and all Detroit had to do was really put up 2 touchdowns to tie that thing up, and they came back and won a good game.
That up there? I see that somebody's already prepping for tonight's show when he's got to do the truffle shuffle with the Lions
Kiss
background.
my furry guinea ass.
Fred's calling out Dorn. He said, "I'm calling that punk out every day until he comes out of hiding." Dorn is in a cave somewhere without cell reception, breaking deer bones for marrow, dude. Like
trying to make soup.
No, that's not soup. That's just a snack for the day.
Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say, he's just eating the raw marrow.
He's here, Freddy's Go Pack Go. He's out hunting in the parking lot to cover himself with deer piss crying. Oh, geez. All right, well, let's go to the next game, guys. This one's the game that JB probably thought is a toilet bowl.
Yeah,
it's
this is the one.
3-10 Jets at the 3-10 Jaguars.
I'm going to take the Jets because I'm going to start right now because I'm going to make it real easy. I'm taking the Jets because Mac Jones hasn't won back-to-back games since his rookie year.
Ken?
Well, that sets me up perfectly because I'm going to say it's going to be the return of the Mac, and you're going to get a Jaguars win.
Rob?
Yeah, this is a toilet bowl. This is I'm gonna hope for Joe's tank and take the Jags.
What do you got, Joe?
You already know. Jaguars by 10, baby.
Yeah, I know, Fred. My condolences to you and your girlfriend's family.
Yeah, same here, Fred.
We're sorry to hear that, man.
Sorry to hear. I mean,
Sarah said she'll have more yards walking from her couch to the toilet to take a dump than Caleb will in the first half against the Vikings.
Right, we're going to get to the Vikings.
Hey, we got to give props on a good comment.
That's good trash talk. We'll get to that game last this Monday night. The game that we're actually talking about, Jets Jaguars. I mean, man, it's like what a trash game. I hate to say that about an NFL game because, like, but we look at the storylines of both teams, right? The Jets with Aaron healthy and this, that, and the other, and then the Jags. They were pretty good last year until the late season collapse. And now you look at these two teams and you're like, it's like, really? This is what we get now? It's like,
yep, the balding tight end is top 5 in receiving yards. Yes,
yeah.
Yes, he
Congrats
is.
on
Brock
that,
Bowers.
Joe. Congrats on that, man.
Man. Brock Bowers, he's sneaking up the list.
With no quarterback, he's top 5.
I'm gonna take the Jets just because Aaron over
Mac Jones.
I thought it was Jags Raiders. I thought that was this week.
No. I'll get to your game in a little bit here, bud.
Oh man, it's the Jets.
You're not gonna be happy with it.
Yeah, you're not gonna be happy. You're facing the fail cans on Monday Night Football when primetime Cousins look like the old 1 o'clock Cousins.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna lose that one too, so that pick still stands. But I think I might change to the Jets just because I can't see Mac Jones like beating anybody but the Raiders.
Don't you want the Jaguars to get one more win so it puts you firmly ahead of them?
I do, but I got to be realistic. Like I I don't know if they're going to beat the Jets. Like,
Yeah, Joe's in that spot where I am with that Cowboys game. Like, yeah, I'd like the Cowboys to win, so I have a better pick out of Carolina, but it just doesn't look like it's realistically gonna happen. Next game, this one might be better than advertised. Well, no, it probably won't. The Ravens at the Giants.
Ravens at Giants.
Yeah.
Ravens by 20.
Yeah, I got to go with JB on this one.
You know, I would have said the Giants defense would at least make it close, but even the defense is just kind of giving up at this point.
They're starting to pile up injuries now, so
Yeah,
they're
I'm gonna
not as
take the
good as they
Ravens
used to be.
yeah.
Ravens by a landslide.
Yeah. And that, everyone, is our landslide lock of the week. It appears on the show. I mean,
Well, and now that we said that, the Giants are going to somehow win.
yeah.
Yeah, just like they did. Where was it where they won? Oh, in Seattle.
Yep.
Even though I
Week two.
really want to do this game, I'm going to skip it because it's a North game, and we'll come back to it. So we do the North games last. The next one we got. This is going to be a good one. Buccaneers at the Chargers.
Ooh.
Unfortunately for Tampa Bay, I know they just got control of the division. They're going to end up tied with the failed Kansas this week. The Chargers are going to mollywop them after losing a heartbreaker to Kansas City.
Woo! What do you think, Joe? They're playing your division rival.
I'm going to go with the Chargers. They're coming off that loss to the Chiefs. Like, I think they're going to be pissed off.
Ken, I'm going to go to you next, but just so I'll put it out there because I didn't put it out there yet. Most of these lines are close this week. This is a 3-point home team line, so it's basically a pick 'em by Vegas. Who do you got in this one?
And it's Chargers and who?
Buccaneers at Chargers.
Buccaneers, okay. Oh, doesn't Baker have his at least Evans back?
Yeah, Evans has been back. It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
yeah, I
They've
thought,
been up and
I
down the
thought so.
entire time.
I was gonna say I don't pay too much attention to the Bucks.
I know. They're not in the division. We don't have to.
Yep. I really like Baker, but I gotta say I like Harbaugh as a head coach, so I'm going Chargers.
Eric has got the Bucks. He thinks Baker's going to bake. I love Baker too. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I like Baker too.
I'm gonna take the Bucks in this one. Going to be another great game. I'm just going to take the Bucks in this one. No super reason why. Just besides the fact I think I like Baker to do it. And Baker just kind of finds a way. Like he's always I don't know. I'm just feeling Baker right now over Chargers, man. But yeah, Chargers. Who thought the Chargers would be in the spot?
Really shouldn't be saying you're feeling Baker when you live in the same state as the man.
I live 7 hours away, so I'm not worried.
Yeah, when you're in the same state, makes it sound like you're cupping.
just like Nick and Jordan Love.
Yeah, Baker he just finds ways to win in some of the most improbable spots, and it's like
he honestly kind of reminds me of like a light version of Brett Favre.
I could see that. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a great game. I mean it'll probably be a 1-score game. Next one's gonna be interesting. Sleeping on the Bucks. Yeah, people sleep on the Bucks, Isaac, and they sleep on the Chargers though too. That's what makes this game. Those are two teams everyone's been sleeping on this year. That's what
Chargers have clinched a playoff spot if they win.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference. Tampa Bay just keeps their division lead at 1 if they win. There's a huge difference between those statements.
Oh yeah, I know, but people have been sleeping on both teams. At the beginning of the year, it was like people thought, "Oh, the Bucks will be really good. They'll be fighting for the division." They are, and people are like, "Oh, well, the Chargers should be lucky to be in third place." You know what I mean?
Who is the second best OC in the league?
I think he's
Tampa?
saying the Chargers. Yeah, or not the Tampa. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't even know who it is.
Next game will be maybe a sleeper. I don't know. 6-7 Colts at the 8-5 Broncos. The line is 4 for the home team Broncos.
I got Denver winning because it seems like every team runs out of gas in the thin air of Denver in the second half and they start pulling away. It'll be a close game through a half, and then you'll start to see that separation happen where everybody else is keeping their stamina while they're over there on the sideline sucking oxygen.
Yeah, Fred. You don't have to worry about me breaking into Baker's house. I was actually on a cruise ship when that happened, so I have plausible deniability. But yeah, a
But
lot.
you were back when Burrow's house got broke into.
Yeah, I wasn't in Cincinnati. I was in the great state of Florida. Rob, what do you got for the Colts Broncos?
I'm taking the Broncos. They got too much defense.
What do you think, Joe?
Yeah.
Ken?
Too much defense, and Bo Nix is playing good ball.
I got 2 words: Sean Payton.
Look, I mean, I think the
When you
Broncos.
say it like that, maybe I should change my pick.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
look, you know what? I mean, JB's got, if there's any team in the NFL that has a constant home field advantage, it is Denver, right? With the mile high thing. Well, they're not quite a mile; they're close. But yeah, they're just under a
You
mile.
just need to go with a good steady supply of oxygen.
They're 72 feet below a mile is what they
Yeah,
are
yeah.
at the stadium level. It's 3,700.
I'm
25
surprised they didn't just use concrete to lift it up.
I know. They could have just raised it up and
yeah.
had stairs from the parking lot.
There you go.
Fixed everything.
But I mean, that is a legit home field advantage that exists there year round. Bo Nix has been playing good. I'm going to take the Broncos at home as well. It should be that'll be another good game though. Another interesting game, probably a little bit, well, not as interesting but it could be good. The Patriots at Ken's Keebler Elks Cardinals. We already know Ken's taking the Cardinals because he needs the fantasy points.
To be God honest with you, I stopped paying attention to the fantasy of it because I missed like 2 weeks, completely forgot, and I just said, "All right, screw it for this year."
Yeah,
I'm not in any money leagues this year, so oh well. But I'll still ride with the Keebler Elf.
He literally forgot to take his people on the bye week out versus me that week. He'd have beat me too. He only lost by 6 points because I had a bad performance out of everybody.
Eric is taking the Keebler Elf. Eric also saying the altitude is serious in Colorado. Yep. He also took the Broncos. Sorry, I missed some of the comments. Isaac saying Bo Nix could possibly steal Rookie of the Year. That'll be an interesting conversation. Eric is saying the Cardinals will win it by 17. What do you think, JB?
I got the Cardinals winning. New England Patriots can't beat anyone. They might not beat the Jets again if they played again, but they already played twice.
Let me ask a question this way. Maybe this will be easier. Is anyone taking the Patriots?
Nope.
Nope. Cardinals are playing for their division.
All right, so let's get on to a better game then. And this is going to be a good game. The 10-3 Steelers at the 11-12 Eagles. Ooh,
11
Joe.
and 2.
11
and 2. 11 and 2.
11 and 2. Yeah, sorry, 11 and 2 Eagles.
11 and 12. I was like, how they get a losing record? We've only played 13 games.
I guess I need more of this. Joe, we'll start with you. Who do you got in the Steelers at the Eagles? The line, I'll give you the line in case it makes a difference in your thinking. -5.5 to the Eagles. So they're getting an extra 2 points on that 3-point bump. Good morning, Harpazo.
Man, see, the Eagles have won like 9 straight games, so I feel like they're due for a loss. And then like that, you had that whole thing with Brandon Graham coming out, and he was like, that I think that is going to have some kind of effect on him. I'm going to go Steelers, dude.
All right, Rob, what do you got?
I'm taking the Steelers.
Ken?
Every time I pick against the Eagles, it bites me in the ass. But you know what? From what I've seen about A.J. Brown and Hurt supposedly having a bit of a disruption, I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Pickens, it's a mild tear. He might be back this week. He's questionable. It depends on the injury report on Friday. That's what it's all going to come down to.
Before we go to Jeremy's pick, let me get through these before they disappear. Mike is taking the Steelers. Eric is taking the Steelers. And Eric also says the Eagles are going to struggle with that Steelers defense. Go ahead, JB.
And that's exactly where I was going. The Steelers defense do everything good that the Philadelphia Eagles do good on offense. They stop runs. They defend passes. They don't necessarily get the picks like some other teams do, but they do really well at defending against the pass in the air. Give me the Steelers.
Yeah, John, to answer your question, what kind of coffee is that in the mug today? Today is Task Force whiskey. I've run
It's
out
got
of
a little extra whiskey flavor
no.
in it.
It's he ages he mixes whiskey into the bean. It's got a really strong smell. It's actually really good though. I'm out of Bear 6 actually. I got to order another bag. I'm gonna take the Eagles at home. Just because when it gets to the fourth quarter, Saquon just says hi. Thank you for trying. Let me throw up 200 yards real quick.
He did really good at that versus the Carolina defense, right?
Yeah.
Not really.
No. He does it to a lot of other good teams, though.
And the Pittsburgh defense is way better than Carolina's. Is my
But
point.
he's done it. I mean, but you got look at Pittsburgh. You got to show me. I guess I'm going to take the Eagles. I just like the Eagles overall better than what Pittsburgh's been doing, because Pittsburgh is like one of those teams their consistency sometimes has been like, look at a couple weeks ago when they got kind of, I don't want to say mollywopped, but kind of mollywopped by the Browns, right? I mean, they struggled at times when they shouldn't be struggling at all, and all of a sudden it's like they don't know what a football looks like. I mean, they're a great team overall, but I don't think they're as complete as the Eagles right now, and there's maybe, I don't know what their deal is. I do like, though, how they use situationally have been using Fields. Like, it works when he does it. So that can help them, but I'm gonna go with the home team on this one and take Eagles in what should be a great game, and it is going to be the Fox game of the week. Okay, I'm gonna do one Monday night game, then we're going to NFC North games, and we got about 19 minutes or so, 18 and a half. And of course, this works out perfectly because Joe is on. We got the 6 and 7 Falcons on Monday Night Football. There's 2 Monday Night Football games. This is one of them. The 6 and 7 Falcons at the 2 and 11 Raiders. Joe, is there any hope for your Raiders against the Falcons?
You're asking the wrong question, Ken. It's not about hope, because if I'm not hoping we win, I'm hoping we lose. Like, it's about, like, can the Raiders complete this tank successfully? That's what it's about.
So
I gave up hope on winning games after like week 8. Like,
So let me ask this question. Maybe we'll make this one easier, and then we'll get some NFC North talk. Does anyone have the Falcons not winning this game? Anyone? Twice in the comments.
No,
Anyone got the Raiders?
No, I was gonna say it, but I can't even make the joke.
Oh, what? You were going to say they're going to have an epic collapse like they did versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
don't you curse
Yeah,
my tank.
but those jokes aren't as fun when Dom's not here.
I know.
Don't you
I
curse
know.
my tank.
I know.
Hey, here we go. The Raiders are going to win when Max Crosby gets 3 forced fumble touchdown returns in one game. He's going to get 3 strip sacks. He's going to recover for touchdown returns. That's how the Raiders.
No, he's going to be on his 3rd touchdown return of that fumble, and another Raiders player is just going to come out of nowhere and tackle it right before he gets in. What the fuck you think you're doing? Don't you score?
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's get into some division games. We'll hit this one first. It's going to be the Sunday night football from Seattle, Washington. The 9-4 Packers at the 8-5 Seahawks. The line is negative, is a 2.5 to the Packers.
Which means it's not quite a full 3 points to the home team. Why? Because Seattle, much like a lot of the teams in the league, are inconsistent. And they've been more inconsistent at home than they've been on the road, which is perplexing.
Yeah.
So will the 12s actually help them win? Or will they start booing by halftime because they're losing? We don't know. I don't know how to pick this. It's a flip 'em game, and I'm sorry. It came up tails. I have to go with the home team.
Whoa. Rob, who do you got in this one?
Packers.
Like we even had to ask. Ken, how
Yeah,
about
I know.
you?
Man, this is going to be a really hard one to pick. Seattle's got a really damn good team. And I mean, Green Bay's got a couple of things going. I'm going to the Green Bay Packers. Come on.
You like how he did that? Joe, who do you got in this one?
Well, it's tougher than it's not just an easy pick, because Seattle's typically kind of had the Packers number in Seattle. but I think the Packers overall are just a better team right now. And I think that they're going to use Josh Jacobs also has traditionally played really well in Seattle when he was with the Raiders. So I think Josh Jacobs will have a big day. And I'm going to go with the Packers.
Yeah, Eric says he calls them the Seacock. He's taking the Packers. Yeah,
Eric, I'm so now using that.
that's good.
But the Seacock.
The Sea Chickens, I still call them the Sea Chickens.
Yeah,
The
I've
Sea
always
Chickens,
called them.
yeah, they've been super inconsistent. I hate to take it, but I'm going to take the Packers in this one. I mean, if nothing else, because Josh Jacobs should be able to just run. Josh Jacobs might have his best game of the season in Seattle. I mean,
Bear down, Mike. I was starting to like you until that last comment.
Whoa, Bear Down Mike is taking the Sea Chickens to eat some cheese. Uh-oh. All right, let's get to a better game. And this one should have been, and I don't know why it's not Sunday Night Football or the game. Well, it's the CBS game of the week, so it is a game of the week.
He said pond sparrows.
Bills.
He called them the pond sparrows.
The 10-3 Bills at the 12-1 line. JB, it's your team.
Well, offensively, these teams match up really well against each other. Defensively, where they don't match up as well is and I said this last week and everybody poo-pooed me, is in the red zone and also in third down. The third down percentage success rate for the Lions is sitting at almost 70% right now at stopping people. And it's less than 60% for the Bills, and I think that's going to be the difference in the game, is we're stopping them on third down. And I think it's going to come down to another last-minute field goal. I'm going to keep preaching this until I die.
Dwayne's got
Lions win 27-24.
Oh, he actually even gave a score. Let me see. Dwayne's got Detroit winning. Eric saying they shouldn't beat the Rams, meaning the Bills. But he's like, Josh Allen's going to be pissed. So he's got the Bills because Josh Allen is mad. I mean, Ken, with a tee up from Eric like that.
I am going to go with the only New York team to actually play in New York. Josh Allen is dusting off that Superman cape now as we're speaking, getting ready to lace that sumbitch up nice and tight. And this is going to be a hell of a shootout, I think. And we're going to have 35-30.
Harpazzo says the Lions have one of the best secondaries. It's going to be a difficult game to win, and he takes Detroit. Bear Down Mike says Bills Mafia going to tame them Lions. Go Pat Go on Dorn is saying the Lions are not winning. Spicy and add Fool's Gold on the back of it. I mean, look, I know why Ken's picking him. He doesn't want more damage. Ken doesn't want more damage to his house in New York. He's got to take the Bills.
Well, I am in Buffalo secondary market.
In fact, I would almost wager that the week the guys came to repair the tree damage, he picked against the Bills, and that's why they created the damage that made the flood. So Ken is protecting that house.
Holy shit, Ken. It is true. On the Pick'em show, you didn't pick the Bills that week because they were playing the Chiefs.
See? See? All right, Rob, with that tee up, who do you got in this game?
Man,
I remember this now. That was the week the tree fell.
I want the Lions to lose. I don't know, man. It's going to be a close one, just like it was last week with us and the Lions. So it's going to come down. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be 3 points win for whoever wins it.
So Bear Down Mike is saying, could this be a Super Bowl preview? Good question, Mike.
It
Maybe?
very well could be. Because
and
even
Joe?
if here's the much to the chagrin of all the Packer fans, the Minnesota fans, and everybody out there. Even if we lose this game, we're still the number 1 seed.
Yeah, so what?
Eric is saying, let's go Buffalo. And Joe, does it scare you as much?
You got to lose a couple to bring you down a peg. That's all.
Nah,
Let's get
that's
you
okay.
closer.
Joe,
Let's bring you
Joe,
closer.
is it-
That's all. Let's get you
I
closer.
just want the Legion of Whom defense to keep doing what they've been doing. Nobody's stepping up.
And Joe, did it scare you as much as it scared me to see JB pull up a notepad when talking about this game? Who do you got?
You know, This is a tough one to call, man. Like, because I've picked against the Lions a couple of times, thinking that they got to lose at some point, and they just keep winning, dude. But the Bills are fighting for seeding, and like, where is the game at? Is it in Detroit?
In Detroit.
In Detroit.
Yeah. See, if it was in Buffalo, I think I would lean more towards Buffalo because it could be weather. But I think I'm in. Man, this is a tough one, dude.
I mean, look at Detroit, Joe. Just so you know, Detroit only has 2 outdoor games this year: one in Chicago, one in Green Bay, and that's it. Everything else they play in the
See, I feel like the Lions, the fact that they pretty much still have the number 1 seed, even if they lose, like, I think the Bills are playing for more in this particular game, so that could change things, but I don't know, man. Every time I say that the Lions are going to lose a close one, they fucking pull it out. So I think I'm going to go with the Lions.
I'm torn, but you know what though? I want Ken's house to be protected, so I'm going to go with Buffalo in this one. This is going to be a great game, but I kind of think I'm kind of like Joe. They're playing for more. Josh has got to be a little pissed about the trip to LA. The line, look at. And to be honest, Buffalo was a team, if you remember at the beginning of the season, we all said, oh, there's no way they're going to be contention. They have no receiving core. They have no this, no that, and the other. And here they are, right, sitting at number 2, fighting
And clinched the division already. They already clinched their division.
Yeah. I
And they're 2 games behind the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So as long as the Chiefs keep winning, they have no shot. They're not really playing for anything other than where they're at in the seeding.
But they got to keep winning and hope that maybe KC drops a game or 2. I mean, I get it's a good argument. I get what you're saying, JB. I mean, it's going to be a great game. This should be one of the funnest games to watch in the late window at 3:25. I'll probably have that game on more than any of the others. Some really good games. And then we get to the stinker of a Monday Night Football game. It's the early Monday Night Football because the other stinker Monday Night Football is a 7:30 start. This is the 7 p.m. start. And it's my Chicago Bears at the 4-9. By the way, all 4 wins coming before the bye. And at the 11-2 Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's got the line 6.5, so they're going to get 3.5 on that. Damn, Fred. Hey, at Ken's house.
Hey,
F your house, F your couch,
Yeah,
no Lions. Oh my God.
Eric, for some reason.
all right, calm down there, Rick James.
Eric, for some reason, I guess he wants to do more push-ups in the gym. Is taking the Bears. Ken, who do you got in this Bears Vikings fiasco?
There's a game.
Yeah,
We're still calling it a game.
Oh, we're calling this a game? Okay, well, if we're gonna call it a game, I guess the Vikings are gonna win.
What do you think, JB?
I think Minnesota's going to win it running away in the second half. I don't care that Chicago's been having a decent second half the last 6 weeks in a row, despite losing. Your coach that we all thought would do things better proved in the first half he's not. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know how to explain it, but 4 yards in the first half is absolutely abysmal. Minnesota wins by 10.
What do you think?
Real quick, now, do we think that the Bears offense you're gonna be able to count their yards on 2 hands this week or no?
Well, I'll get to that. Let me get to that. Save that one for me. Joe, what do you think?
See, I'm like, I feel like the Vikings should win running away, but at the same time, I feel like if Caleb is going to show anything this year, if he's going to show that he's that guy, this would be the perfect opportunity. Like to take one game on his back, dude. Like, and I think out of all the NFC North teams, the Vikings, even though they're winning, I think they're the most vulnerable. I don't know. I mean, I'm going Vikings, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears pull off an upset.
JB, of course, leaving to go do his show, which is on in about 5.5 minutes. Rob, who do you got?
Got the Vikings in a landslide.
So can I answer your questions? What was the question about the yardage?
Is it the yards you get in the first half? Are you actually going to be able to count it on two hands this week or no?
Yeah, I think so. And look, I agree with what JB said. Look at, I didn't think Brown, making the interim OC, the interim head coach. I don't know if that was. Well, I remember I said I don't know if this is the right answer. I don't think it is. I mean, calling the offense from the booth versus calling from the sideline is a totally different vibe, right? And last week, man, I mean, this will be interesting to see how they rally around Brown as a coach, how they rally, how they respond to basically, as Caleb put it, getting their ass kicked in San Francisco. I mean, he goes, we got our asses whooped. And they did, soundly, on both sides of the ball. The OC, who might as well be called the interim OC because he didn't call any plays during the regular season, couldn't dial up anything on defense. Offensively, Brown couldn't figure it out. He had been good at making adjustments. He didn't make really any adjustments. They had a little bit of success in the second half, but yeah, I mean, but I agree with Joe though too. I mean, as a Bears fan, I gotta hold out hope that maybe they can get a win. And we did play them well last time. They are beatable, right? We saw that, but I mean, it depends on how Brown responds to this. Because here's the thing about Coach Brown too. We don't know how he's going to react to it. What kind of adjustments did he make after taking such a sound ass whooping? Right? Are the Bears going to be able to get back to what they were a couple weeks ago when they were a very competitive team playing the NFC North?
Now, honestly, with how many losses you guys already have, do you really want to win now this time of year?
Okay, so tactically for picks, I'd rather lose and get a better pick, right? I'm like with Joe. That's that side of it. The fan side, you always want your team to win, right? I mean, more from a tactical standpoint, we say, man, let our teams lose. But from a fan standpoint, you always want to see your team win a game. Otherwise, why are you going to even bother watching the game? No, before week 8, Fred, they won all their games before the week 8 bye. But that's a funny thing because they were worse. They got better when they fired Walden. I think we can all agree the offense got better when they fired Walden, right? But then they fired Blues, and that team was 1,000% worse last week. It was probably the worst performance of the season last week. But I agree with that with Joe too. If there's any game Caleb should put on his shoulders, I'm going to disagree, but I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree that he should, if he could put on his shoulders and show, but the game I want him to put on his shoulders and carry is the last game of the season against the Packers. That's the game that I want Caleb to put on his shoulders and get the W for the city. Pick be damned. But I mean, right now I have to take the Vikings. Analytically speaking, I have to take the Vikings. Fan side, I want the Bears to pull out a squeaker and show some resilience, show some grit, as the Lions fans say, and bounce back and play a much better game and a learning process by all. But it's hard. Analytically, it's hard to take the Bears in this game. I mean, that's just kind of where that one's at.
Fucking Fred.
And now that we're done with our picks, I don't know if you guys addressed this earlier in the show or not, but we have found out that it's more than likely that Randy Moss has liver cancer. And from my experience with cancer, how yellow his eyes were, he's in decently late stages. Now, I'm not saying you got to worry about something happening to him within the next few months, but it don't look good.
Yeah.
At least what I've seen in my experience.
Yeah, that's sad news to hear, and it looks like he's at that point where we'll see how aggressive it is, and best wishes to him and his family.
The good news for Randy Moss, though, is that he's a multi-millionaire, so he's got the best treatment available to him.
Yeah.
And let's hope for the best, because I like Randy Moss.
He's a good guy. Yeah. Even with him being a Minnesota Viking and all that, Moss was one of my favorite receivers.
You got Moss.
Yeah. Hey,
Bears got Moss.
I have a perfect story to close this out real quick. I was playing catch with my buddy when I was 13, jumped up, grabbed it. I go, Randy Moss it, spiked the ball, and it goes through the garage window.
You know, that sounds like something like with Ken's luck lately. That sounds pretty accurate. And on that disappointing take, but great story, we'll say peace. See you tomorrow. JB is up next to talk Nothing Lions football. There'll be no music out for today. We're just going to end it if I can get my mouse to work. Thank you for everyone for joining us. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Be safe. Peace.